me dazzle like a diamond in the rough. Strut my stuff is so sharp.
Hi guys, Kira here for Fitting Friday. Make sure to DM us all of your fitting questions. Our first one comes from Annabelle Rackney, who wants to know if it's possible for your feet to shrink. So most people think that your feet just grow as you get older. They can actually change in shape the more that you're dancing, depending on what shoes you're wearing, both in Pointe Plus and what your regular shoes are like. It's totally possible for your feet to change shape, but don't necessarily just go down in length or go down in box size, because that might not be exactly what your feet need. It might be best to go to your local fitter or hit us up and get refit, see what else can really be changed about your shoes.
Hi guys, it's Maria here, Marketing Director for Gaynor Minden. You saw me all over Fitting Friday last month, and I am back here to answer a few more questions that you all sent in. Alright, so we are combining some questions about the shank. I actually answered both of these last month, so while I will answer the questions here today, I'm also going to link to last month's video so you guys can all check it out. So the combined questions are basically what to do if my hard shank feels too soft, or if you think you need something harder than the green bag, slash what to do if my feet are too strong for the hard shank. Okay, so if your hard shank feels too soft, step one, double check your fit. Make sure your shoe's not too wide. If you are wearing toe pads and you're having this problem, refit your shoes without toe pads. You can still add in padding where you want, but it'll make sure you have a more supportive. And then if you refit and the shoe really does just feel too soft, that happens. We do have dancers that need a harder shank than the green bag. You can special order a reinforced shank. You can also special order a higher vamp if that feels like it might be more helpful. And the second part of the question was what to do if your foot is too strong for the hard shank. And I think first, let's all be really, really cautious about using the word strong when you might mean flexible, which is a different thing. Quite often dancers that have really high arches will say, or their teacher will say, or their fitter will say that they have very strong feet. But often really high arches and flexible feet are quite the opposite. So if you feel like you are just crushing the hard shank, so also double check your fit to make sure that the width is as supportive as possible. You might need a reinforced shank, but also work on some strengthening exercises to help you straighten out your toes in your shoes and to lift up out of the shoe so you're not crushing it. So I'm loving this filter, guys. We're going to combine two more questions, or maybe three more questions. We've had some questions about blisters and foot care and blister care and what to do with blisters and how to avoid them and what to do if you have one. Keep watching. Ooh, this one's fun. So blisters are a result of friction in your shoes, and they are sometimes just what happens when you're dancing on pointe. I was lucky I didn't get a lot of blisters, but they happened, and that's just part of life. So for preventing blisters, make sure your foot is correct. Taping your toes can be really helpful to prevent excess friction and rubbing. Also, I used to use like a foot powder on my feet before I put my pointe shoes on to help reduce moisture. If you have a blister, try not to pop it unless it's already opened, but keep it clean, keep it dry. Band-aids are great. The blister band-aids are especially good, and also our dancer's dots are wonderful. Alright, up next we're going to talk about what to do if your pointe shoe is twisting off your heel, or if you feel like your shoe is sickling off. I mean, your shoe doesn't sickle, your foot sickles, but if you feel like your shoe is twisting off your heel, keep watching. So shoes twisting is usually a fit problem, and it often means that your shoe is too narrow. So recheck your fit and see if you need a wider width, or maybe even a wider box, or if you need thinner padding. Now, while twisting is often a fit issue, some people's feet just twist in everything. It doesn't matter what you wear. And this is often just kind of how your foot is shaped and how your bone structure is made. You are a dancer that has really high arches and pronates, so you collapse and you roll in on your ankles. Over time, that can cause your muscles to form in a certain way that it just makes your foot twist into kind of like an S shape. So if that's you, really work on and concentrate on pulling up your arches and not collapsing in, and really engaging your outer thighs to work your turnout. and putting some more weight to the outside of your foot. That'll kind of help adjust. Okay, another fun question. I've heard Gaynor Mindens are cheater shoes. What do you suggest I say to people that tell me this? Y'all, you know how I feel about this question. We have so many videos about this. It is such a thing. We're working on it, it's getting better. I'm gonna link to a couple of videos and then we'll answer. So if it's a thing with your teacher, you can always ask her if you can just try them. Or if you want to try them on the side and have her see you working in them. Oftentimes teachers are open to that. They just want the best for you. Then, as always, make sure your fit is as good as possible. Make sure that your shank is soft enough that you can roll through your foot and work your foot and that you're strengthening your foot. And make sure you're using your feet and that you're not just sitting in the shoes because you can.
Hello, my name is Sarah. I am a fitter at Gaynor Mindens, and today we're going to answer some questions about drawstrings. So we're going to answer this drawstring question in two parts. The first part is, what do I do if my drawstring gets lost? A couple different things you can do if your drawstring gets lost, one of which is to take some needle or some wire and kind of dig around in the hole and try to coax the drawstring back out. The other thing you can do is, if you've been digging around in there for a while and aren't having any luck, you can always take your shoes to a cobbler, have them just completely unstitch the drawstring casing, rethread it, and then sew it back up for you. Our second drawstring question was, what do I do if I feel like I've pulled my drawstrings pretty tight, the shoes are feeling tight, but I still need to pull them tighter? If you've already pulled your drawstrings to the point where the shoe is feeling tight, but you still feel like there are issues with your fit, it might not necessarily be the drawstring that needs to be pulled tighter. You might actually need a longer shoe that's narrower, or just something different, and we're always happy to help with that.
Oh, baby, why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind just a little. So why don't you just meet me in the middle?
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa. I am the Direct Sales and Marketing Manager for Gaynor Mindens, and I'm going to answer some questions about the studio bag. Alright, so we've had two questions asking, when is the studio bag going to be restocked? Good news, the studio bag is coming back late June, early July, and it's going to be available on our website, dancer.com, or if you're wanting to find it in a retailer nearest you, just ask your store and they can absolutely order it for you, no problem.
Hi, this is Adriana and I'm a product assistant. I'm going to answer a question about shank stiffnesses. So we got a question about shank stiffnesses and if you're between two different ones. So if you're in between two shanks, I would advise going with the softer one of the two so that you have a little more flexibility and a little more malleability to work through when you're dancing.